So when lovely Emma asked me to do a blog or a vlog about just one thing to talk about if you're pregnant or you're a new mum, initially I thought that was going to be impossible. I've spent the last year writing over 100,000 words and then having to unwrite some of them about that first experience of pregnancy, birth and new motherhood. Is it possible to say just one thing that's useful? There's so much in that topic, or it can certainly feel that way. And I thought about talking about my experiences of trying to raise little feminist boys and girls, about how to avoid guilt, or about how you know more than you think and you are actually an expert, believe it or not. But then I tried to get to the core of what I think is important to remember and hang on to in that year of transitions. And actually, I think for our whole lives, it's something that I am definitely still working on myself. And that is that you matter. You still matter. You are still hugely important. I think it can feel when we become pregnant that all the focus is suddenly concentrated inside our uterus. We can feel very reduced to Tupperware. I remember feeling that when I was pregnant, that I had become a container. I was very important, but only as a container, and that all of my responsibility and energy and thoughts must go into being the best container, holding that baby, thinking about that baby and protecting that baby at the expense of ever focusing on my needs. And I think that narrative can feed into being a new parent, where of course so much of our time, our energy, our thoughts, our worries, our fears and hopes are directed outwards at this little person, which is really important, and that's a big part of the job of being a parent. But I think particularly at the moment in our culture, which puts a lot of emphasis on parenting actively and lots of activities and focuses and things to do and things to buy and ambitions all about this child and all the pitfalls of getting it wrong, I think it can be very easy to completely lose sight of ourselves, completely lose sight of the importance of us and how we feel. In part, that's important because it's very difficult to be to feel okay in your parenting, to be okay with the daily responsibilities if we're completely depleted. But actually, I don't want to just think of it as you have to look after yourself because otherwise you can't look after your family. You have to look after yourself because you are important. Your body is important because it is the thing that carries you around. It's got a lot more carrying around of you to do. Your mind is important because it is your mind. You need to care for it because it is how you feel. Your emotional well-being is important because they're your emotions and they control you in some ways, and you might be trying to control them, but that how you feel, that interior world is important. Your relationships are important in themselves. If you want to work, your work life and your career and how that fits with you is still important when you're a mother. What you eat and drink is important because of what it does for your body, not just because of nourishing your baby. And your sex life is still important if and when you're ready to kind of jump back into that. Your relationship with your partner is important. Of course, it's an important part of the family, but it's important because it's important to you. And so in that 100-odd thousand words that I've been writing, during which time I completely forgot to look after myself, I wanted to put that message in again and again, to plant those seeds at a time when it's really difficult to remember to care for ourselves, that is important. So I wanted to end by just reading you a little paragraph from the introduction, which says it much better than this rambling. So, from the moment you read this and forevermore, know that you matter very much. that you are the expert in yourself and you get to be in charge at all times, even when some things are beyond your control. You remain the same complicated human being with your own needs, wants, and lovely imperfections as you were before you also became a mother. It might be hard to squeeze the old you and this new you together, but you can. And it is okay to wobble while you try. You matter, and I won't let you forget it.